Welcome, you guys. This is a practice designed for anyone who has tight hips, which is me, and anyone who sits at a desk all day, anyone who's a runner, who's really active. This is going to be 20 minutes of healthy, happy hip stretches, exercise, and yoga poses to help you feel rejuvenated and ready to go back to your day. So let's start on our backs. And you're going to begin with your feet flat on the floor and the knees bent. And tucking the shoulders underneath you. This is a great way to reset if you've been staring at a screen or if you're feeling a little bit stressed and jostled. And this is also a great way to create better body awareness, especially in the back side of your body. Just take a deep breath into your belly and exhale to let it all go. And typically, we want to keep the breath flowing in and out of the nostrils. However, it's nice to let a few exhales escape through the mouth when you first begin. And continue to breathe in and out of your belly, relaxing and softening the low back. And slowly draw your knees into your chest. You can grab on the shins or behind the knee joints, which is nice if you have any knee pain or sensitivity. And on your exhale, set the navel in towards your spine. And with a gentle squeeze inwards, the inner thighs, you'll start to draw circles with the knees, letting them go from side to side. And don't worry about making this really precise, but just feel the organic movement of the hips. It's a nice massage for your low back. It helps to map out the region of the body in our brain. Just feel all the bony ridges. Feel how the muscles are lubricated as you draw the circles, switch sides, or switch directions, I should say. And start to coordinate your movement with your breath, making it smooth, making it feel a little more easeful. And slowly lower the feet down, take the arms out like cactuses. And then shift the hips to the right. Let the knees stay wide and apart as you let them fall to the left. So wide knees, twisting to the left as you gaze over the right shoulder and soften the shoulders down into the mat. Relax your jaw. Soften your gaze. Maybe a little swallow. Relax the muscles of your throat. On your next exhalation, set the navel in towards the spine and slowly bring the legs up through center. Press down, shift hips to left. Let the knees fall gently to the right. Looking over your left shoulder. Relaxing the back. Relaxing the shoulders and the neck. Slowly squeeze the belly in and bring your knees back up through center. You'll roll over to one side and come right into a downward facing dog. We don't have a whole lot of time together. If you want to pause for a moment in tabletop or take a puppy pose, maybe a child's pose is more your style, then go for it. And as you arrive in your downward dog, set the foundation of the hands and the feet. Press them down. Lift up onto your tipped toes. And as you exhale, bend your knees, pull your chest in towards your thighs. Lift the tailbone up high to the sky. Feel that gentle trench in the low back as you start to draw the heels back and down. And take one more deep breath in to lengthen the spine long in both directions. Reach actively forward and back. With a nice taut belly, and inhale the right leg up and back. Open the right leg up, bend that right knee. Try not to dip into the left shoulder and draw a couple circles here. And scoop your right knee in towards the midline as you step your right foot all the way through. Take a breath in, lengthen the heart forward. Exhale, release the back knee down. And squeeze the legs in, breathe the arms up, and maybe the hands lower to the hips first. Well, wherever you are, just simply stack your skull over your spine. Simple. And then squeeze the legs in. And as you bend forward into that right knee, simultaneously keep squeezing the right heel and left knee, stretching the arms up, or maybe they stay at your hips. One more deep and full breath in here. Lift up and stretch. Exhale to release the left hand down. Point the right toes out on an angle. Right hand comes to right knee. Roll the shoulder back and twist. Squeezing the low ribs in together like a corset. And let that left lung pull through. And slowly release. Step back into downward facing dog. Another breath in here to stretch. Exhale, set your foundation. Hug the belly in and breathe the left leg up. Exhale, open that left hip. Both shoulders stay in one line as you draw a big circle with that left knee. And scooping the left knee in, undulating through the spine to step that left foot all the way forward. You can always grab the ankle and plant it there if you need. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, drop the back knee. Squeeze in, find that muscle energy and breathe the arms up. Anjaneyasana. And keep hugging in as you let the pelvis descend and the low belly lifts. Breathe into the back of your lungs. And slowly release. Point left toes out. Roll onto the outer blade of your left foot. That left hand just guides you into the twist. And slowly pointing your left toes forward. Stepping back, plank pose. Big breath in here. Squeeze the inner thighs together. And press the mat away from you and hug the navel in as you lower your knees to the floor. Bend the elbows back, lower your chest between your thumbs. Untuck your toes, root down into the front of your pelvis, the tops of your feet, and peel the upper body up off the mat. And pull the heart through as you lift through the upper palate. And exhale to release. And tuck your toes. Gather the front body in and up as you stretch your hips back. And almost like there's someone behind you. Maybe it's me. Okay, I'm behind you and I'm pulling your hips back in space. Do you feel so close to me now? Good inhale, reach your right leg up. Exhale, scoop the right knee in and up as you plant that front foot forward. Step forward to the top of your mat. Bend your knees, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands come to heart. One breath in here. Exhale, soften. And bring your hands to the back, the low back, pointing the hands down like you were sliding them into back pockets. And then you're going to gather the shoulder blades onto your back. And as the heart moves forward, keep a soft bend in your knees. And plug your feet down, draw the low belly and the ribs in and back. And start to curl the heart up as you anchor your tailbone down to the floor and actively press down through the legs, lifting up through the upper palate, the crown, taking the gaze up. Enjoying one more breath in. And slowly release. And spin your hands onto your hips. Bend the knees generously and inhale, lengthen. Exhale and pull the tailbone back behind you. Feel yourself hinge at the hips as you bow and pause halfway. Press down into the feet, maybe go a little bit wider. And plugging the feet down, gather that front body in. Reach the sit bones apart from each other as the tailbone drags back. The crown of the head is reaching forward. Stay really steady and slowly fold. Maintaining the bend in the knees. The activation in your legs and in your feet. The hands can slowly release. A really good stretch for your hamstring muscles so that they're activated, they're online, they're also enjoying a little bit of length. They don't get those things very often. And feel how happy your hamstrings are. Pull the ribs in, reach the sit bones apart, feel the pelvis spin onto the tops of the thigh bones and tip forward. And take a breath in, halfway lift. Belly pulls back. Exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, reach your left leg long back behind you. And sweep the arms up and overhead. High lunge. Press down into the big toe mat of your right foot and squeeze that right heel back. And feel the stretch in the front of your left thigh. Woo! We have to also think of the hips in a 360-degree way, where the front of the hip also contributes to a lot of tightness, and at the same time, we don't want to overstretch this region of the body. So as we open it, we also activate and engage it. They're pliable and resilient, but not too weak or too tight. As spin yourself open into a warrior two. Ooh. Microphones. And press your right knee out to the side. Inhale to lift the ribs up off of the hips. And keep the arms reaching slightly upwards as you straighten your right leg. And squeeze the legs in, a little micro bend in that right knee so that the hamstrings stay online once again. And hinge forward, reach, reach, reach. Engage the belly, slowly tip down. The hand can land on your right shin, your ankle. If it touches the floor, that's great. It doesn't really matter where it is, as long as you keep squeezing those legs together, moving the front body in, and sending breath into the back of your lungs. And feel your back inner left thigh, and the back leg. Spin inwards as the right inner thigh starts to turn out. And one more breath in here. Peel yourself back up, warrior two. And breathe the arms up. Point your toes towards the long edge of your mat. And let's come right into a high lunge at the back of the mat. Adjust as you need. It's okay to bring your hands to your hips and just feel the head stack over the spine. And set the foundation. When you're ready, you can breathe the arms up or keep them right where they are. Lifting through the upper palate, setting your gaze. And sipping in one more breath. And then slowly opening up to a warrior two. Making sure that front heel bisects the arch of the back foot. And even checking your foundation to make sure the left knee isn't collapsing in over the left ankle, which is a sign of weakness and or tightness in the outer hips. I want to engage the muscles eccentrically so they're getting length and strength. Press your left knee out, broadening the front and the back of your pelvis. Inhale, lifting the arms ever so slightly to pull that left thigh bone in and up. A soft bend in that front knee. Just a tiny, tiny one. Reach forward, hinging down. And pull the front body in as soon as you get there. And lean back just a tad. Deep and full breaths in. And feeling the lateral side of your hips, getting this juicy stretch. It's not always the back of the hip that's the quote unquote problem area, but our hips are so dynamic and complex. Pick yourself back up, warrior two. So we want to treat them that way. Inhale, point the toes forward. Exhale, hands to your heart, and then bring them right to the hips. And pause halfway. Soft bend in the knees, maybe a little bit more than soft, maybe slightly aggressive. And plant the feet down, reach the spine forward, gather that front body in. Spread the sit bones apart from each other as you slowly fold. And let the head fall. Actively press down through the legs and into your feet as you draw the inner thighs in and up so that the pelvis starts to spin forward. Sit bones still reaching apart. And pelvic floor muscles are relaxing. Just having a chill time. And then on your next inhale, you bring your hands back to your hips. Lift yourself up halfway. Pull the belly in. Reach the head and the hips away from each other. And then slowly hinge all the way up to stand. And as you bend into the right knee, point the left toes out. Hands can come to heart or stay at hips. And we're just going to slide side to side, turn the right toes out. So in and out of this Skandasana shape. And you can go as deep into this as you like. So you're welcome to stay here and even position the body a little more parallel, the torso I should say, and just slide back and forth. Feel the controlled movement side to side. The outer hips are hugging in. And if you have a little bit more of I don't want to say an advanced practice, a more keen awareness of your body, and you know you can go deeper into Skandasana, bend into that opposite hip. As the leg extends out to the side, the toes turn up. You're actively squeezing the outer hips in. The adductor muscles are working to lift you up and bounce from side to side. And one more time each side. We're going to land back on our right foot. And then slowly coming into a low lunge facing the front of the mat. And widen your right foot out to the side. Let's drop the back knee down to the mat. Come onto your hands. Inhale and pull the heart through. Squeeze that right knee in towards you. Right heel and right knee in. And roll into the outer blade of your right foot. You can turn the right foot out even more if that feels nice. And let's lower down onto the forearms. Now you might know right away that's not happening. If that's the case, stay on the hands. I'm going to stay on my hands. Now you can dial this up a little bit. Bring your right hand to your right hip, right knee, start to twist open, and then fling your right hand back. Fling it, and pick your back foot up off the floor for a twisted thigh stretch. Squeezing the back heel into your hip. And sipping in another breath. Low ribs hug in. Slowly release. And let's step all the way to the top of our mat, right into Malasana. So ready? Bring yourself forward. Point both toes slightly out. Go nice and wide. Reach the arms up. Lower the hips down. Get really heavy in your pelvis. Hands to heart. And pelvis descends and relaxes. Get weighty in the feet. And deep breath in. You can always support yourself here by sliding a blanket under the heels or folding up the front of your mat, just for future reference. And lower the hands down. Step your right foot back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower the back knee to the mat. Come down onto your hands. Draw your left hip up and back. And maybe you come down onto the forearms. It's cool if you don't, cool if you do. And drawing the left hip back and rolling onto the outer blade of your left foot as it feels right for you. So be the purveyor of your own practice. Do your yoga. Stretch your hips. Life advice from me. Good. Come back up onto your hands. You can stay here or sweep, fling the arm back, catching that back foot with your hand and taking that nice juicy thigh stretch. You can choose to roll to the outer blade of the foot. Just be mindful here that you're not disengaging. Squeeze the low belly in. Pull the heel into your hip. Take another breath. And slowly release. Lowering both hands down and step back into a tabletop position. And take the knees nice and wide and reach your hips back onto your heels, slowly but surely, making your way into child's pose. Feel everything settle. And soften. And let all this information, all this activation start to congeal in your body, assimilating into your tissues, your muscles, your bones, and your cells. And take a breath in through your nose. Exhale it all out. Set your navel into your spine and slowly walk your hands up, lifting yourself up onto the shins. And if you have any more time, I encourage you to take a few moments here in Vajrasana on the shins, just feeling your body and feeling your breath. Or if you have a moment or two for Shavasana, I highly encourage you to take that moment to rest. But since this is a short and sweet practice for your hips and for your heart, bring my hands to heart center and bow to you.